What's up, DC Nation? I hope you are doing well. Today we are covering a very exciting comic. This is Future State's Gotham #1. I know, you guys are probably thinking, wait, I thought Future State ended like 3 months ago. Well, it did, except it didn't. See, the feedback for the Future State Gotham stories was so good that DC decided to give it its own series. Plus, the writer of this comic, Joshua Williamson, wanted to continue the adventures of Red Hood in the future. Another interesting thing to note on here is that this comic is full-on black and white. I'm not entirely sure why though. Like, don't get me wrong. The art looks great, and the black and white touch does add a different vibe to the comic, but there's not an official reason. You guys theorize on why it's black and white in the comment section. Also, before we begin talking about the comic, I've left a link in the description to a video I made a couple months back that has the complete story of Future State Gotham before this new comic. That video explains the magistrate and shows what every Bat family member is doing in future states. Now, heading into the new comic, this is Hunt the Batman, Part 1, Batman's Land.
War is coming.
An unknown man says, sitting on a throne. We switch to Red Hood, riding his motorcycle in the air. I was trying to sleep, Wesker, he says, heading straight toward a huge Scarface. This huge Scarface is shooting a giant gun saying, "Y'all's talk to me, Red Hood?" Not him. Oh dear, I knew this score was a bad idea, Mr. Scarface. Gotham isn't the same, says the magistrate. Wesker says before Scarface interrupts him saying, "Shut up, dummy. What are you worried about? This dirty rat's no Batman." Red Hood then takes out a swinging ball and makes it on top of Scarface's head. You're out of the loop, Wesker. Batman isn't Batman anymore, Red Hood says before knocking Wesker out. We go to after the fights. Wesker is being escorted away by the peacekeepers. "Mr. Scarface says you'll pay for this," Wesker says. "I'll add it to my list," Red Hood says, kneeling down. "Must be a long one, especially considering all the mistakes you've made recently and keep making," Peacekeeper 03 says as he rides up to Red Hood. "Are you actually angry I did your job, Peacekeeper 03? Red Hood says, standing up. "You're damn right. My job. You're not a vigilante anymore. You're a hunter. Look at the mess that happens when you don't stay in your lane," Peacekeeper 03 says, pointing at the big destruction that was made with the fight that Red Hood had against the big Scarface. "You only go after the mask. The magistrate and GCPD can handle guys like Mecha or Scarface over here, understand? Unless you're still working on the side of the bats. Never again. Look, I live down the streets. I was just protecting my neighborhood. Nothing for you to get your cape in a twist over," Red Hood says to Peacekeeper 03. Now, Peacekeeper 03 steps up to Red Hood, and he's obviously taller than Red Hood by a lot. Now, Peacekeeper 03 says, "Wesker's lucky your girl broke up with you. She would have sliced his neck open." "Ravager? Didn't. We hear this sound, this beeping sound." "I know that sound," Peacekeeper 03 says. "Yeah, me too, but..." That's when we hear a boom as we see the streets start getting caved by a big explosion. Now, Red Hood and Peacekeeper 03 get on their motorcycles and start driving away. There's multiple people in the way as they drive on the streets, and Red Hood actually wants to save them, but Peacekeeper 03 tells him, "Dispatch just gave me a drone's eye update. The explosions are destabilizing the infrastructure. This just became a race. Us versus the streets." That's what Peacekeeper 03 says as he just passes by civilians who are being killed. They're being caught in this big explosion that is encaving the middle of Gotham. Now, Peacekeeper 03, eventually the street catches up to him, and he gets lost in the big explosion. Now, Red Hood, he keeps driving because he thinks Peacekeeper 03 is right behind him and he's in a race. "Punch it, Peacekeeper 03. We can do this." "Peacekeeper? Now, Red Hood looks back and sees Peacekeeper 03 is actually good. He's right on the edge of the big, pretty much the encavement that the explosion caused. I'm good, Peacekeeper 03 says. We gotta get in there and help people. Red Hood says, picking up Peacekeeper 03. It's cute you think there are survivors, Hood. I'm getting another drone's eye update from dispatch. And, my god, Peacekeeper 03 says, as we see the shot that the drone got. And it's a huge big bat symbol in Gotham, the middle of Gotham. So somebody caused this big explosion to make just a symbol. And yeah, it destroyed a lot of the middle of Gotham, but it's kind of like a message. And Peacekeeper 03 is shocked by this, but Red Hood, he's also shocked by it too, because guys, if you forget, in Future State Gotham, in the whole backstory of Red Hood, it turns out he's working with Batman. So yeah, he's kind of undercover with like the magistrates. But even here, he doesn't know about this big symbol being brought into the middle of Gotham with a huge explosion. He didn't know about this plan. From here, we see Jason Todd go to meet up with Batman. And Batman is in his alleyway, and Jason shows up, he takes off the Red Hood helmet, and he asks Batman, like, what he knows. And Batman says, the new Batman did this, Jason. He blew up the Narrows. The evidence is all real, and it's pretty damning. Then he's done. It's over. Time to bring him in. Whatever it takes, Jason says, clenching his fist. Now, Batman responds, we can't lose sight of our main objective. We can use this to our advantage in taking down the magistrates, and we can implicate them. Even if they had nothing to do with this, the magistrate forced Gotham to become what it is now, and you promised me you'd help stop them. You lied to everyone you ever loved, our friends and family, that you'd go undercover because you knew it'd be worth it to stop the magistrates. Whatever it takes, right? Now, next what we see Jason, or Red Hood. He goes back to the magistrate headquarters, and he's named Peacekeeper Red. And he's granted pretty much membership in the Peacekeeper detail with Code 1 clearance for all resources, and his assignment is to bring in the new Batman. Now, we know the new Batman going around in Gotham in future states is Tim Fox Batman. And the magistrate want him to be taken down, and they're sending Red Hood to do the job. Now, if Red Hood pulls it off, he takes down this Batman and either brings him back to the magistrate or kills him, then Red Hood will be pretty much promoted. He'll become a full-time peacekeeper, and he'll be granted access to a lot of things. Now, if he doesn't do it and he screws up this mission, then there's a cell in Blackgate for him. So Red Hood takes off to do his mission to bring back the Batman, and as he's pretty much driving his motorcycle through Gotham, he pretty much remembers his time with Ravager and how he kind of had a relationship with her, but then she left because they have different opinions and different mindsets. Now, Jason stops the motorcycle and gets off of it. He starts walking toward the Monarch Theater. And you guys remember, the Monarch Theater is where Bruce, aka Batman, lost his parents. A very important place in Batman mythology. Now, Red Hood goes up to the rooftop and looks around. And he says, you can knock out the ninja crap. I know you're here. Rooftops are off limits to you, a person says from the shadows. We always agreed to meet here in emergency. I think a chunk of the city going boom counts. I just want to talk, okay? The new kid's in over his head. You know it, and I know it. Red Hood says, but then he's hit in the back, and he falls to the ground. You don't belong with us. Not anymore. We see Nightwing. Spoiler, Tim Drake. We see the whole Bat family who now hate Jason because he joined the magistrates. And Nightwing stands over Jason saying, this is a family meeting. So next issue, guys, we're going to see Nightwing versus Red Hood. We see Red Hood deal with his fallouts with the Bat family. Red Hood's still on the mission to take down the new Batman and try to take down the magistrate in the process. So a very setup type issue. but still very enjoyable. I really like the mecha Scarface. That was a really neat idea. The action was good. I like how Joshua Williamson writes Red Hood. Like, he has a good voice for him. And I'm interested to see where this story goes. I know there's gonna be some people like, oh, I'm not interested in Future States, but this looks like a good story. I overall like the Future State Gotham stories that we got like a couple months ago, so to see it continued here is awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna give this issue an 8 out of 10. I recommend it. Check it out, guys. And yeah, tell me your thoughts on this issue down below. If you liked the video, give a big thumbs up. New channel, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on my next Future States Gotham review. And yeah, thanks for watching, and peace out.